snacks, or put some sugar in your coffee. All right, it's great to have you here. It's a really quick presentation. All right, maybe for those of you who don't know what CABO is, Thomas has just joined. So we're interested really in studying drivers of plant biodiversity changes across Canada, land use change, climate change, species, nitrogen deposition, and so on. And obviously the core of the project is to use imaging spectroscopy to integrate field data, to integrate leaf spectra, trade data, and the goal is really to sort of try to map, understand biodiversity changes, but at broader spatial scales than field surveys. In terms of where we do the work, there's a number of sites. We have 5 sort of main sites where we did this work a little bit more intensively. Montmégan-Sic is temperate forest, and you'll be hearing from the Marsh Group in particular. We also worked at Ile-de-Boucherville, sort of a temperate grassland site, that the questions there had more to do with detecting some invasive species in the park. Niagara is a peatland, so Margaret's team in particular has worked there. And then we have a site in BC, sort of an oak savanna, Gary Oak woodland, that Paul and Nicholas Dean have been working, and others as well. And then we have a site in the Arctic with Madeleine and Isla and Mark being involved. Of course, we haven't actually been there because of COVID, but Madeleine will tell you a little bit about another site. So for your information, so the annual progress report, posted it on Slack, so it's something we submitted to insert a few weeks ago if you want to know all the nitty-gritty details of what we've been up to in the last year. So that information is there for you to see. So I'm just going to do a quick overview of sort of some progress. I'm not going to talk about all everything that you've done, because that's what you'll be talking today, but just highlighting a few things that will not be obvious perhaps from the talk. So just a few news plans, and then the next few months she's going to be submitting her thesis, so she's almost done, and she was just saying she has 4 years of spectroscopy now under her belt, which is amazing. But she'll be submitting her master's thesis soon and be talking about it. So some students that are not here today, but that you've seen probably in previous meetings. So Rosalie Beauchamp-Villieu has done a lot of field spectroscopy work. Her thesis right now is under evaluation. She's writing an article as well. Juliana as well. She actually had her thesis accepted, and she's working on an article where she used leaf spectra to distinguish bright lines. There's a few new things that you might not know about, but we have a new professor here who's also the herbarium curator. His name is Étienne Laliberté. He's a specialist on sedges, taxonomy, but he's been really interested in spectroscopy, so that's been great. And he has a team that approached us and said, can we do something trying to distinguish hawthorns, which is a particularly difficult group taxonomically, very difficult to identify species in the field. And so this summer, we let him field spectrometer here. He's been sort of collecting data, and so far, we don't have any preliminary results, but it's an exciting new project. Just a few things, because Sean will be talking about some of the work he's been doing on predicting leaf traits using spectra. I'll present that but there's other things that Sean has been doing, and he has a paper he's about to be submitted, but it's learning on bioarchive, where he's I think he presented that last year about measuring spectra on pressed specimen. So that's really exciting. But there's something else that Sean has done that I wanted to share, and it is leading sort of a deal-based project that was really exciting because it allowed many people from the CABO project to sort of join the field effort. I know Joanna has been involved, Christine's been involved, a number of students, Florence and Charles and Antoine. I can't name everyone, but and it really started, of course, there was the scientific questions, but there was one of the motivations around it was after being isolated due to COVID for so long, and some postdocs had been started their project during COVID, that we thought it was a good opportunity to field work, some of them to meet each other, and also learn a little bit about how spectra affect. And that has been very successful. The new people, I mean, we've briefly met Thomas, but really excited to have Thomas who's going to work on with the herbarium data. So good to see few other things. Catherine Albert, who you might remember, working with Margaret, she finished her master's and she had an article published in Front News Environmental Science where she's mapping Phragmites. Did we show this slide? So that's exciting. So Christine will be presenting her work soon, but I just wanted to say a few words as well. That we had another position for a postdoc in Margarets Lab, but for various reasons it didn't get filled. And so what's going to happen is Christine will have her contract extended. So we're really excited to have Christine stay a little bit longer in the CABO project. A few words about the portal. So we've been, it's pretty much functional. So you can all access all of the leaf spectrum trade data. For now, there's a public and there's a closed. So if you have the top left there, you have a little admin. So if you ask me, I'll give you the admin password. But the projects for which there's a publication or the general projects are publicly accessible. But some of the projects where there's not yet a publication associated with it, you need to access it. But it gives you an opportunity to sort of browse through the spectra and trade data that we've been collecting and also download it. A few quick words about other things. I know Anne Bruno and Nicholas Goose have been involved in this NSERG, and I think the Canadian Space Agency is involved as well. Sort of a workshop to put together a Canadian biodiversity observation network. So it's sort of really the initial steps. And maybe throughout the day over lunch, we'll have an opportunity to learn a little bit more about that. But it's, of course, a project that would be very relevant for CABO. Another quick thing, maybe on the provincial side, is there's this thing called the Quebec Centre for Biodiversity Science, which I'm now co-director of. And so we're in renewal right now. And so we've restructured the whole scientific program around this idea of building a Quebec biodiversity observation network that has, of course, many components. But one of the components that you can see there in Axis 1 at 1.4 is this idea to integrate remote sensing and field observation to generate some sort of biodiversity information, but at broader spatial scale. So CABO could and will play a role in that. A few quick words about the future. Of course, data analysis. We're in a state where we have acquired through various projects lots of data. We have new postdocs, and we have postdocs that are continuing using analysis. So of course, that's sort of the main focus of students as well. But there's still some data acquisition for various reasons, COVID being one of them. Some things got postponed. Madeleine still has some field work to do in the Arctic. And there's something else as well. Because of COVID, some of the flights that were planned earlier sort of got postponed. So with Pablo and Margaret, we looked at a plan to use some of the remaining hours. And next year, what we have planned is that we're going to fly the Twin Otter, the Cassian. We'll go to Station Biodiversity, which is the University of Montreal field station, the Golf Reserve, which is at the McGill field station, and Mont Saint-Bruno. But initially, we're going to do Mont Saint-Bruno because we wanted to cover the whole park, and that's been a site where we've done some work. But doing the quick calculations, because you see that all the sites are reasonably close versus relative to Ottawa, it actually wasn't that much more work to sort of fly in these smaller areas. So we thought, why not do it? And it's also an exciting opportunity for projects like the Quebec Centre for Biodiversity Science and other people that already work at these stations to sort of use this. And we're planning a campaign as well to use drones to collect top of canopy samples and measure traits from that, and hopefully give us better data to do some of the trait mapping at the tree level that we've been hoping. All right, so without further ado, I just want to talk about the program very quickly. Obviously, there will be a long lunch break, but we have a pretty packed schedule. So Anna, Christy will present some of the work, then we have a half-an-hour coffee break. We didn't really plan any structured discussion because it's been 20 months since we haven't seen people, so we thought it would be a nice opportunity to have something unstructured discussion. And then we have Patrick. Then we have about 20 minutes of open discussion. then we'll use this opportunity. We have a really nice day outside to go walk outside in the garden and have after lunch, because the garden is kind of a nice place in Montreal, so we'll do that. And then we're back in the afternoon at 1:30, and then we'll have Florence, Sean, Joanna, Paul, and then Pablo will conclude the day with a talk on some of the work he's been doing, and then that will be it. So thank you very much. So if some of you are interested to share, we'll actually, we want to record every presentation. Of course, if you don't feel comfortable with that, let us know. But we would like to post them after on YouTube, so that if your colleagues or other people want to see some of the research that we're doing. But if you don't feel comfortable, just tell Carol and then we won't do it. But if you're okay with it, that's what we have done. So thanks everyone.